Hello, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the More Than the Numbers podcast. This is a show where we'll dive into the stories of people overcoming financial insecurity, showing the different paths that people take to become wealthy, and overall just how to live a more purposeful life. So if you enjoyed listening to the show, please show some support, give us a 5-star review, and leave a comment of your favorite part of the pod. Also, please share it to anyone that you know that feels stuck and that needs some uplifting or needs some help to get their finances in order. We're really just trying to help as many people as we can with these stories. God bless all of you, and just enjoy the show. Today we introduce Hacienda Heights native Cisco Anaya. Cisco is a first-generation college graduate, a Latino men's fashion creator, and CEO of his very own shoe company, Vagary Worldwide. In this episode, we dive into Cisco's upbringing, of what developed his hustler mindset. He talks about the ups and downs of starting a shoe company and really shares the secret of how to make money doing content creation. But anyways, without further ado, let's jump right in. Oh, welcome to the More Than the Numbers podcast. Got the famous Cisco or Francisco Anaya. Dude, thank you. I mean, it was a quick connection on LinkedIn, and here we are, man. I'm glad we're gonna finally talk, and I feel like we've never really dove into any deep conversations past like, oh dude, how you doing over the years. So happy to have you on, bro.
For sure. Thank you so much for reaching out. It's great to connect with someone that I basically kind of grew up with.
Yeah, man. Take it back. Like, I know similar situation growing up, Hispanic household. Your parents from Mexico, right?
My dad was born in Mexico. My mom's family's from Mexico, but she was born here. But yeah.
Okay, so she was born here. Okay, but they're both from Mexico, right?
Yes.
Okay. When and did they always grow up in Hacienda Heights, or where?
So my dad grew up in Mexico until he was about 10 years old, and then he came to the United States. But they both grew up in Almani. So they were in Almani up until my dad basically all his life. My mom up until high school, and then her and my grandma moved to Vegas. It's pretty crazy though. So my grandparents, they were actually like they're from the same town, the same little pueblo in Mexico, and they were like friends before everything else. Like my two grandpas were friends. They actually came to the United States together. So it's pretty crazy. Like my two sides of my family have always been really close. They were always just like friends. They're kind of the same age. And they went to school together, middle school, high school, and it just kind of happened that my mom and dad, ended up together.
Did they grow up together too?
Yeah, like they've known each other. My dad's a little bit older than my mom, but they've always known each other. My last name's Anaya, so the Anaya family, my mom is the Coronas. They've always just known each other basically all their life. All my uncles from both sides know each other. My aunts know each other.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Really cool. Kind of similar to me too, where my parents were neighbors in LA when they first came from when my mom came from Mexico. My dad was living a couple houses down, and so my mom's family would take care of my grandma at the time because she was sick. So they were just always together too. But it's like, and they have the same last name, Lopez. I don't like, which is weird. Yeah.
That made it a lot easier.
Yeah. No, definitely. So wait, so they what made them move from El Monte to Hacienda?
So when my mom and dad got married, my dad was like, he kind of wanted to get out of there. Once he left, or once they got married, I think they went to an apartment in like West Covina, and then my dad was already looking to buy a house, and he liked that area. It was a nice size home. It was a home I lived in all my life, and it was Hacienda Heights was a little bit of a nicer city, community. So he was like, well, I think we should start our family here. Well, I was already born. Sorry, the day I was born was the day they moved into the house.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah. So they were like, well, we're already kind of getting our family going. Let's just do it here. So, and I like Hacienda Heights. I love it there. So I think it's cool.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Like, I think it's a perfect place to grow up in. But I'm just always interested in it because it's not demographically known as like a Hispanic place, and like it's kind of a random suburb of like I always like to know of like how did we end up here? Like my family started off in Echo Park, but same kind of thing. You're congested. I'm
Yeah.
sure in El Monte's not there's some neighborhoods that aren't the safest. So it's like
Yeah.
you go into like, okay, where do we want to live? And then first they travel more east and they'll find like Hacienda Heights, Roland, Diamond Bar is a little bit better area. And I think a lot of like the families there did the same thing, moving from like LA areas, moved, out just
Yeah.
to get a better life for the kids, I think, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely like. So my dad has like 9 brothers and sisters, and
Oh, wow.
they grew up in a small like apartment or small home in Almani, and like he always tells me stories of like gangs and times they've ever like kind of butted heads with people, and he's like, why do they want that for you guys? Like let's go somewhere where it looks sunny every day, or like just a brighter time, right? A brighter vibe. So yeah, they really liked Hacienda Heights, and I'm glad that they stayed and we stayed there.
Nice. So, okay, what like growing up, what did your parents do for work?
Yeah, so my dad is actually a business owner. He has a clothing manufacturing company that he's owned for at least 30 years. Basically, like think of like the construction of like a t-shirt or like a dress. What happens is companies hire him to basically create their clothing. So they'll bring in fabric. He cuts out like the shapes, and so that's like a cutting portion of the business. And then he has a sewing department where he like just constructs the pieces together and makes like that one garment.
So does he do what kind? And is it just all kinds of clothing, or?
Yeah, right now it's really focused, or the biggest market that he has is t-shirt companies.
So like a family clothing. Have you seen those stores, or like where they sell like pro club store, like those type of places, or?
It's more of like the pro clubs.
Okay.
Like, so right now he has like probably one of his biggest accounts, or was American Apparel. So American Apparel would reach out to him like, hey, we need you to make hundreds of thousands of shirts for us. And they just send the fabric. So my dad basically like cuts out the shapes, right, of the t-shirt. And then so there's a front, the back, the sleeves, and then it goes into the sewing department and all this stuff gets sewed on. So that's basically what it is. So it's like the clothing manufacturing.
Oh, nice. How did he get into that, or how did he want to do that?
So from what I kind of remember, my grandpa bought like a little warehouse and was like, hey, I think we should just do this. And then so my dad was kind of just thrown in there and like just went to go find clients and went to just see like what he can do or how he can work for people. And then he basically bought it from my grandpa, and then just from there kind of took off.
Wow, nice. I'm always so intrigued with like Hispanic business owners and entrepreneurs, just because I feel like that's not the norm in Mexico, or not in Mexico, but coming over here, it's just so much harder, like. Yes. So it's always interesting to see like where they got it or where they came from, and now it makes sense where you got it from with the clothing interest, right? The fashion.
So I've always I've obviously grown up with the company. Like when I was young, on Saturdays, my dad would be like, all right, come on, like you have to go to work with me. I would just be like picking up trash, picking up scraps, throwing away tubes. Like I think at a young age, it's at the time you're like, damn, I have to go to work. Like, why would I'm 10. No, I don't want to do that. But it like kind of instilled in me, like, that hustle, right? Like that you grateful for what you have, but never satisfied. So I think I grew up had a different life basically than most people whose parents had like blue collar jobs or white collar jobs. I had like someone teaching me a different type of mindset.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to experience that. But it also comes with the ups and downs, right? Business is business. It's you have your really high points, and then all of a sudden it could really drop. So I've experienced both. So it I think that's what has like kept me humble and kind of like, how do I say, like respect someone's hustle,
Oh yeah, no, definitely for me too, man. Like I worked in I'm not sure if you know, I worked in the mortgage industry for the last 3 years. So I did sales, loan officer, right? And that's what I'm doing now, starting my own branch. But like, I don't know, like it's business and sales, all of that. It has its ups and downs, but I feel like if you just keep on the same road, you end up better than you were always,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you can tolerate the volatility, if you can tolerate if you have the stomach for it, like I think the rewards are much better than just staying in a more, um, you
Secure.
know, a secure job. There you go, right? Because I think you're just forced to learn, and I feel like it's like a different kind of schooling where it just teaches you, how to live. I don't know, to hustle and
No,
live
you're
more.
100% correct, man. You have to be able to like take punches and literally get knocked out, get knocked down, and be able to get up and just be all right. Like it happened, it is what it is, and like what can I do to keep going forward?
Wow. So your dad taught you, do you think, a lot of lessons like growing up about like, or was it more with him? Was it more of him teaching you, or did you like just from living it and seeing it, you kind of learn those lessons
It
about
it
business?
was it was both. It was both. It was like so so one was okay. Like being there, a lot of the employees that work there are a lot of immigrants, right? So I think why he took me there was to see like people are struggling. Like people have to work 40, 50 hours, 60 hours a week doing the same thing over and over to just pay to live or keep like a roof over their kid's head. And he just like I think being there just really showed me and taught me like dang, like I need to do better for myself, right? Like I need at the time you're like I need to graduate high school, and you go to college and you get a good job. It wasn't as much like you have to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a businessman. It was more just like you have to know that like if you don't do good, if you like mess up, or if you're going down the wrong path, you can end up like this, right? And it's like it's not bad, but is it something that you want to do, And he's like, I'm busting my butt, I'm going through all these ups and downs for you to have that better life. He would tell me that. It's also me just being observant and experiencing it, but it was a great experience and a great mix of just lessons being learned from him. Like he's a smart man, he's a hard worker, and I'm grateful that he's my dad.
Yeah, man. No, I think that's so powerful because, like, for me growing up, my like again coming from Mexico, our family was like they're really hard workers, but they never got that business sense or seeing past the hard work.
Yeah.
So a lot of them had blue collar jobs, similar to like what you're saying, but never thought about like because we all grew up in the same house in Hacienda Heights. Like we had like 10 of us living in there, aunts and uncles, my grandparents, all of us. So it was like a packed in house. But they never really like okay, like we want better for the like they already thought it was a big accomplishment moving from Mexico to this.
I bet.
And they kind of just like all right, let's work and enjoy or be grateful for what we have, and then not really think more off of that, like to move out or like start their own thing or move into industries that they want, outside of working in grocery stores. So that's what for me, when I was growing up, like, okay, I want that. Like, how do we get that? And so that's like super interesting to know that like you were kind of like your dad somehow, was able to. I feel like he had a different kind of mindset than the other family because he was in right.
Yeah,
he had to think a different way.
And yeah, it's a huge deal. Like, cause Hacienda Heights, the Mexican like or Hispanic population there, like all the kids, all their family or their dads or their moms, everyone's working. They're working just like minimum wage jobs or a little bit better than minimum wage. And they would always, like kids would be in after school programs where they have to stay till 5 or 6 because their parents would come home late. And I never had that. Like I was really blessed to like my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She worked a little bit when I was younger, when I was in elementary school, but after that she would stay at home. She was there to take us to school, pick us up, help us with homework, make us food, which I think also kind of helped shape me. Like if both of my parents worked like till 6, 7 o'clock, and I would barely see them, I think my life would be a little bit different.
Oh,
like, the way I am as an adult would be different. But my dad he worked a lot. He worked till about like, let's say he'll go in at 6 a.m. He wouldn't come home till like 8. When I was younger, it was a little bit tough. I didn't see him as much. And I was kind of like, like the man of the house, right? I had my 2 younger brothers and then my mom. So it was a little tough for me, but since like I would go to work with him, I would know like, this guy is busting his butt so that we can live the life that we live. So I think
Yeah.
that was a great thing for me to see and a great
I'm
experience.
glad, dude. No, yeah. If he didn't take you out, because growing up, if you're like your mom or your dad's gone for a while, like you just start questioning, like, oh, like what, they just don't like me, like what's going on, like why are they
Yeah,
here?
like
And
you
then, but
just you fall into a different crowd, or
yeah,
you just like rebel, right? You need love. Everyone needs love. All the kids need
right.
love, and then you put up a wall. But I'm grateful to have that dynamic with my parents that I did.
Oh yeah, and especially him going and taking you, like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm not just like wasting time. Like I'm putting in work to have you
Exactly.
guys live the way you guys want, right?
Exactly.
Um, what was I gonna say? Uh, and then yeah, another similarity too with both of us is that you have two younger brothers too. So like,
Yeah.
what was that experience like having always two, younger brothers around? Like,
Yeah. So
how was that?
I actually have three brothers.
Oh, you have
Um,
three.
yeah.
Okay.
So I have an older brother. So his name is Marty, and then my younger one, Johnny. He's 22. My youngest brother is Saul. He's 16 right now. Um, so I think, and then I just like my childhood. It was great having brothers, right? Like you get to play, you get to fight, you get to be competitive. But I think being an older brother and the time that I was being an older brother, like when I was in middle school, I think it was like 2008 or 2009. That's when things weren't going so well for the company, for my dad's
Oh
business.
yeah, for
We
everyone,
didn't,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we didn't have, like money was tight. My mom was working with my dad, just as a helping hand wherever he needed. That is when I was like, every day I would come home with my brothers, and I was like, the dad and mom of the house. Make sure they ate, make sure they were doing homework, make sure everything was kind of done before my mom and dad would get home. My mom would come home like earlier, 4 o'clock, which is not too bad. But I knew from 2 to 4, like these guys are my responsibility. Like I cannot let anybody down. Everyone has to be cool, like by the time my mom gets home. So being that older brother, I learned like I had to be responsible really early. I think one thing that set me apart, or like that I noticed now, in middle school, I used to skateboard a lot, and I had a lot of friends that skated, but I knew that I couldn't like, go to the park and skate or go to a skate park. I would always ask my friends, can you guys come to my house because I have to watch my brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
Like my brothers, I can't take these guys to the skate park. Like there's old men there, they're
yeah,
drinking
yeah.
and smoking. Like, can you guys just come to my house? Like my mom will buy pizza, but like I need these guys here next to me. Like, I can't go anywhere. And I think a lot of middle school, like every Friday, people were at my house because I couldn't leave these guys.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, so like it was great to have them. Those are my guys. Those are my best friends. My brothers are my best friends, and I loved having them. And I think being a role model and example is really important to me. I carry a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, so they can do what they're supposed to do.
I agree, man. I feel the same way all the
Yeah, I
time.
bet you're the same, bro. Like, and I believe you're doing it. Starting your own branch. You have a house now. They're like, oh, okay, like it can be done. Like, let me. How do I do it now?
That's the key. That's it. Like I try to just like let them know that that things are possible, more than what they can expect. Like
Yeah,
that they can get more than what life has out for them. So, and yeah, I don't. But I feel like having younger brothers, like and it helps you with your future relationships. I'm sure with your girl now, of like
yeah,
that there's other people more than just yourself. So you're like checking a little bit. You're always checking on them, or you're kind
yeah,
of like just aware, like having the awareness that they're there. So I thought that's a good experience that I had too.
yeah.
But yeah,
I think right now, and right now it's since I moved, right? I moved out. I moved to another state. Now it's like more than ever. I have to, make sure I'm calling them. Make sure my youngest brother is still in high
oh yeah,
school. Yeah, my youngest brother is still in high school. My younger, how do I say, my oldest younger brother, he's in
yeah.
college right now. He's in college, so I'm checking up on them, right? Making sure it's finals time, making sure they're good, they studied. My brother that's in college, I'm always helping him with his classes, like setting up before the semester. I just got to make sure I'm on him, right? Like I'm still, even though I'm gone, I'm still your older brother. I'm still like there to look out for you. And they call me, my youngest brother calls me a lot when he's fighting with my mom or fighting with my other brother. He's like, dude, I just need to talk to someone else.
That's funny, man. He's the that's all right, and he's balling right now too, right?
Yeah, he's a hooper, bro. He's a hooper for sure.
I both are little brothers, man. Yeah, I think they're the same age as Saul and Savi.
Yeah. They're like
Every time I go to the gym and I see Saul, dude, he's that guy. I was just like, I'm impressed with that cow, like the work ethic of that kid, man.
Bro, solid, bro. And I think, same thing. Like me rubbed off on him, my dad rubs off on him. It's just in a different space, which is okay. But it's like this he hustles in what he does. He loves his craft. He's trying to perfect.
Do you ever feel like your younger brothers like damn, like they learned all my tricks already, so they already have an advantage, like
dude,
so my younger brothers are like better than me in basketball. They're more athletic, like they're like damn.
Yeah, it sucks, right? But we still talk smack to each other. I still tell him you're not gonna beat Big Brother, but I know it's there. I know he's gonna beat me. Like I'm not that good.
No, but it kind of makes you happy too to see them thriving and successful. So
yeah,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just like, you want them to be better. You want them to be better
yeah.
than what you were, what you did, So.
I feel that, man. Yeah, no, I actually feel more satisfied when they have more success than I do. Like, I'm like, dude, yeah, to get the scholarships, get everything. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, you want make your life a little bit easier.
Exactly.
Make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, man. Wait, so how were you as a student in high school? Were you pretty good? Like,
man, I was solid. I would carry around 3.8, 4.0 all high school.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, I was good. I think that I really like how I said, like school was kind of my thing. I was always like, I gotta be good in school. I have to. I always knew in my head I was gonna go to college. I knew that I needed to do more because my parents were doing so much for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a pretty good kid, man. My mom was on my butt a lot. She's on all of us. She was on all of us, making sure that our grades were good. She said, if we're gonna do what we do, pay the bills, roof over your head, you get food, you don't have to go to after school programs. All you have to worry about is school, right? We worry about the rest. You worry about being a good student. So I was like, you know what? That sounds like a fair deal to me, right? Like I don't have to go do anything else. So in high school, I had really good grades, always like honor roll. I was in a program called Avid. I don't know if you remember what that was.
Yeah.
That really helped me a lot. That was do you know what it is or not really?
Oh yeah. I wish now looking back, I'm like I should have been in all of those kind of like college prep type of classes, right? Or it was was it an elective? I forget.
So it was an elective, but it was basically a class for kids that were most likely going to be first generational college students. So, guest speakers would come in, they would teach you how to like apply for college, how to even do like FAFSA, just like a group to be there, like a community to be there for you so you don't have to do it.
Wow. I wish if I had known what it was, I would have definitely done it.
Yeah, and then like you even had your own counselor. So that was really big. Like I don't know if you remember Miss Hara, if she was there when you were there, but she was the Avid counselor. So, she was always in our class and I would always go to her office, and it was great to just have someone that I can, ask questions and be like, can I go to this school? Is this even possible for me? Like, what can I do? So I was a pretty good student. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was solid.
No, dude, that's good. That's amazing. What I feel like, were you in like the honors and AP and all that stuff?
Yeah, I wasn't. My mom would make sure that I was in honors classes. Even in middle school, she would make me go to honors classes, and I was in those. High school honors, AP. My senior year, I only had 2 AP classes. It was Spanish and stats. But yeah, it was pretty high up classes.
Yeah, my mom too forced me. I'm like, dude, like this is too much, man. I wish I did like an Avid though to kind of. Because I feel like growing up in middle school, going to Mesa and going to Wilson, like you're with a lot of our Asian classmates who are really really top students and like smart, and they just like I feel like they just knew what was going to happen. Like they're just going to go to UCLA or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. Coming from like like I was doing okay in those classes, but I'm like, I don't know how this stuff works. I didn't know that you had to go to SAT classes or anything like that.
Yeah,
Or I feel like Avid would have been like it was a good kind of bridge, right? Where it like taught you a little bit about what to expect, right? In
exactly.
college.
Exactly, yeah. And they even offered a SAT prep course for me, so that was like
Wow.
amazing, bro. And it was free.
Whoa.
Mr. Foucault, remember Coach Foucault?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
He was my Avid teacher my senior year. So and he was my coach my freshman year. So I already had like a really good bond with him, and I was like, man, like, yeah, I need to know what I got to do to go to like a university. And he was really cool, and the relationship with him really helped me out. Like
Oh, that's good.
I was able to be really open with him. And I remember when we were freshmen, he took us on a couple of college tours. So I was like, man, this guy really cares about us.
Oh,
He cares
wow.
about
Yeah.
me. And he wants us to do better. So having him as my Avid teacher, it was really good for me.
Nice. What made you want to go to Fullerton?
So I had a choice between what was it? San Marcos and Fullerton. San Marcos, I took a visit. I kind of liked it. The only thing I didn't like was like it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. That was the only thing. And then Fullerton, I knew they had a really good business program. It was close to home, so we'd save a little bit of money there. And I think that was really it. I had a couple friends going. I was like, all right, like let's just do it. Let's just see how it happens, or how it works out. And I'm really grateful for my time there. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I feel like I got a top notch or a top quality education for the low price that Cal States are.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's a hidden gem, and I think because I went to community college too, and I'm like, I had a good experience there too. Like, it's really what I learned from after is like, it's not about the name brand of the school or anything. It's about how you take the experience, right? And how because all the resources are there. It's like, if you go and utilize all of them, like you can get a whole lot from the school.
100%, bro. Like I cannot agree with you anymore. I remember growing up, I was like, all right, I need to go to USC. Just because it's dope, right? SC, LA, dope. And then I was like, dang, that price tag is pretty crazy. Like, if I come out of there, I got to come out of there with like a 6-figure job to, you got to pay the loans, or got, like, it's tough. And then I was like, okay, Fullerton, it was at the time $6,000 a year, which is kind of nothing for school.
I agree.
So I was like, okay, now that I'm here, I was blessed, bro. Like, shout out to my mom and dad. They paid for my school. I didn't have to take out any loans. They made that really easy for me. So I knew, right? I'm getting my education.
But also put some pressure too. Like, oh God, like now that they pay for it.
Yeah, so that's why
gotta graduate.
My parents put it out there, and I'm like, I can't mess up, right? I gotta pass every single class. If I fail, that means I have to pay more. Pass every single class. Graduate in 4 years, because if I take a year longer, extra money, right? So I did that, and I was like, you know what? I have to make sure that I'm, making these connections, networking, internships, everything that I can do. And I did. Like how I mentioned, I don't know if you knew too, I interned for the LA Clippers.
Yeah, give me experience about that, man. Like when I saw you there, I'm like, dude, what the heck? I would have loved to do something like that. Like, how was that?
It was amazing. So I worked with them for 5 years. My freshman year of college up until a year after I graduated.
So you did it all through college? Okay.
Yeah, bro. I
didn't know that.
Best internship, part-time job someone can do, right? You're in the NBA, you're in the Staples Center. Amazing. How I actually got connected in high school, a guy came to talk to our class. He was the sales manager for the LA Clippers, the ticket sales manager. In Avid. So right there, Avid hooked me up for the rest of my life, bro.
Wow, give them the credit, man. That's sick. Okay.
Yeah, so I think his niece or something was like 2 years younger than me in Avid, and when you come to present to a class, you present to every class. So he presented to us, and I was like, man, the Mexican dude, bro, Hispanic dude from La Puente.
Whoa.
From La Puente, yeah, and he was a sales manager. I already know he was making like 6 figures over.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, this guy is someone that I want to be in my life. Like, I want to be just like him. After he presented, I think I was the only one that went up to him, and I said, hey, like, whatever I can do for you, I would love to do for you.
Yeah.
if you need me to mop the Staples Center, I'll mop it for you, bro. And he gave me his card. And this was already late, right before I graduated high school. After the summer, I hit him up. I said, hey, man, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Francisco from Avid, Wilson High School. I would love to talk about any opportunity I can get from you. Anything, man. I don't want to, I'm not trying to beg, but, I
But
want
yeah, I
to,
kind of am though.
yeah, like I want to do better. I want my life to be like yours.
Yeah, yeah.
And, bro, like, I don't remember if he ghosted me, but he took a while to answer. I followed up so much. I was persistent, but at the point where I was bugging, bro, every day. But then he was like, you know what? Come into the Staples Center. I was already lit, bro. Come into the Staples Center. Our offices are here. Let's talk. So I went in, and he actually had me interview with a guy that was like in charge of the interns, and it was already mid-season, so they weren't looking for anybody.
Oh wow.
So I just went in, gave him my resume, and I talked to the guy. Again, he was in Avid, that guy.
Oh god, there you go. Yeah, crazy.
He's like, if you know what Avid stands for, I like you, and it's like advanced via individual determination. And dude, like, he smiled and he shook my hand, and we were good. And then I went to the guy's office, bro, corner office, looking at all the statues. Again, he was telling me, he's like, I'm from La Puente, man. Like, no one from where we're from comes and lives like this or has a job like this. He's like, I wanted to see your face because I don't remember who you were. I wanted to make sure you were cool. And I didn't hear back anything after that. I was just grateful to even like be there.
Yeah.
And this was like, season starts October. It was like October already. And it was November. And then I get a call like December 15th, I remember. I was in the movies. I saw like LA 213. I was like, I don't even know anyone like from the 213.
Yeah, so, scam call. Like,
yeah, dude, I literally like ran out of the movie theater and I answered, and he's like, hey, this is Mo. We just had like someone leave our internship program. An opening is up. Would you like it? He offered it to me, bro. And I said, of course. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know what the job is. And I said, of course. I was like 17 at the time, or 8. I was like 17. I get there. I my first date, bro. Everyone is like seniors in college or already graduated. So I was the youngest.
You're in high school still.
Yeah, or I had just started college. I just started college. So I was the youngest guy there, and I was just like, dang, like what an honor to be here. And it was so cool. The first 2 years I did group sales. So basically the sales reps would say, oh, I think your brother played in a game there, right?
Yeah, he just played in crypto. Yeah. So last week. Yeah.
So like that's considered like a group event. And the ticket salesmen, they would sell you a group like you guys a bunch of tickets. And with those tickets, you get to do something, right? Whether it's play on the court, high five the players, do like a dance or at halftime. So what I would do was I would be the one that like executes that. I would take, like, for example, your brother and his team down to the court, take you guys to your seats, make sure you're all good. So I did that every game day for 2 years. The following 3 years was even better. I was a game operations assistant. I was actually on the floor with the players.
Was this when was the Steve Ballmer change?
Did that
already happen, or is that?
It happened after my first year.
Okay.
Yeah, because my first year, I remember it was the old logo and everything, and then after my first year, they revamped.
Oh, that's good. Then you had the good experience, right? Because I heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah. So the last 2 years or 3 years, I was on game operations. I was in charge of all those ball boys that you see on the floor. So I managed them, and I would help. Like before they would even get there, I would help warm up the players. So passing them the ball, talking with them, it was super cool, man.
Damn.
All that, and getting paid. So it was dope.
But that must have been tough though, because I mean, you're traveling from Fullerton, right? That's in Orange County. Yeah. We live in Hacienda, which is like kind of out of the way. And then LA Staples Center, that's far, man.
Bro, there was days. So there was like I would start 8:30 a.m. Class. Last class would end at 2:15. I have to be at Staples Center by 3:30. Bro, so I wake up whatever 7 a.m., go to class, go to school all day. Like I would right when 2:15 hit, I would take off to the parking lot, drive all the way from Fullerton to downtown LA.
Yeah.
I was like, like this is what it is, bro. Like I got to do what I got to do, and it was like the best. Like I would never complain about it. If anyone is ever looking for an internship, go do the Clippers one.
Go do. Hey man, and I'm being on the recipient too. I think I told you a little bit. I bought a half season tickets for the
Okay,
Clippers.
nice.
So I bought it because they. I'm not sure. It was probably one of your coworkers, man. Like they cold called me and they're like, "Oh, like we're having this event where you come and like, they do a tour through the locker room and look. You can go on the court and it's like to look at the seats." And I'm like, I don't know how the tickets work. I'm like, it's too expensive. And then they're like, no, it's actually like a lot cheaper than you think. Like it's good. Just there's free drinks. Like just kind of was like, okay, fine. I went, and dude, it was actually not a bad deal. I think I got like 2 tickets in the 200s for like I got a half season. I think it was like a grand, man. Like for 2 tickets, so it ended up being like $45 a game, which is like not that bad. But the best thing about it was that 2 months or 3 months later was when they announced that Kawhi and PG got traded.
There you go.
And so I sold like I think I broke even because I sold like half of them. Yeah,
but yeah, man. No, the Clippers, it's I think because they haven't won a chip yet that the prices are still low. So
I think good value play.
And they do a great like game experience. They have like the DJ, they have all the performers. I love it. I love it there.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think they're underrated. I think so too. Even though I'm a Laker fan, but still, I appreciate their.
Like you go to a Laker game and it's just the game, like because it's the Lakers, right? They have so much history. It's just the game and the Laker girls. Whereas like the Clippers they're throwing shirts, they're dancing around.
They're giving the effort, man.
Yeah, so
to make it a good experience.
It's a fun time.
So what okay, so you finished your Clippers experience. How come you didn't want to? Did you have the choice to work full time for the Clippers afterwards, or like what happened after that?
So usually the way it goes is like if you don't really kind of get a connection in like basketball operations or do that, like kind of be with the actual team, the next role is to go straight into ticket sales. I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be a ticket salesman. That wasn't like something that intrigued me. And then I was kind of I would be in the office a lot doing like admin work. And I kind of like I would see the dynamic there, the company culture. It wasn't the best in the office, right? Like when I started, all of the ticket salesmen and the leaders that like kind of managed me, there was only like one left by the time I finished.
Oh, it's just different people?
Yeah, either like they got fired or they left for like not the best reasons. So I was like, you know what? Like I don't really want to. This isn't for me. It's just not me, right? Like I love sports, but I don't want to be in this like type of scenario. So yeah, that was that. And then I actually had an internship. I'm gonna kind of keep going with my career. Is that cool?
No, that's what I want to know. I'm just gonna ask you what led you to where you're at right now.
Yeah. So then, right when I finished college, before I graduated, I accepted an internship with Herbalife. So I was really cool in their downtown LA office, LA Live. I was part of their corporate communications department. So I was, helping with like internal company emails, right, just for employees. I helped with social media, which is something that I really enjoy. So I was part of the social media team, like, scheduling posts, helping with photo shoots. And then there was a live stream that would happen every quarter where like the CEO would just, talk to employees, updates, all that stuff. And I would like work on that too. So that was all summer long, really cool internship as well. Got, paid like above minimum wage. So really dope, 40 hours a week full time.
Yeah.
But once that ended, so I kept real good like contact and connections with people there. I think that really helped me now. But after that, I joined a smaller family business or smaller owned company called Johnny B. Pretty sure you've heard of like the
hair.
gel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was their social media guy for a while.
Oh, nice.
That. Yeah, it's a smaller company, like a team of like 4. So it was cool, like really
Oh.
hands on, bro.
Uh-huh.
Everyone was Latino, so like real oriented. Everyone like felt the same.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then that was like 2019, 2020. 2020 of January of 2020, I actually went into our family business. So with my dad and my brother, I was actually like a shipping manager. Some guy left, and my dad was like, "Hey man, I need help. Like I need someone." And he's like, "I think it's your turn to come in." He's like, "You're a man now. You graduated," which was like kind of scary for me, bro. I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
they expect like this genius. They expect this genius to come in, change up the whole company. They expect me to just be the guy, and I'm like, in this type of work industry, like it's completely different than what I know. I've only done like marketing, right? Or like, like brand, how do I say, like brand awareness type stuff. Where this is more sale. Like we gotta sell to eat. So I was a shipping manager, and then that's when COVID hit.
Oh
And
man.
so it was scary, right? Everyone was freaking out. We went from making like regular t-shirts and clothes, and we had to shift the business to make face masks and medical gowns.
Oh wow. Okay.
And this is like everyone is doing all different types of jobs. From being just focused on shipping and receiving, I became a salesman. I became a driver. Everything, bro. It's a link. I created a whole LinkedIn account. I was making videos for them. Everything you could think of.
Whatever you can do to try to like.
Exactly, because we were making these things, and they weren't even sold yet. We were just producing to keep our employees working. So it's like we try to be the best. We don't just fire everyone. And so I think what that taught me how to really like be appreciative of life, of work, of everything, and then how to grind, bro. Like
Under pressure, man. That's a lot of
yeah,
pressure.
I was able to sell masks to grocery stores. So, actually, your boy, what's his name? Joseph.
Yeah.
So
to Superior?
Yeah, bro. Like
That's
I didn't.
hilarious. No way.
I knew Joseph. I didn't know him that well. Same thing. Shot him a LinkedIn message, bro. I know you are Superior. I know you guys need masks. Let me hook you up. And he got back to me. He's like, "Oh, for real? Like we're actually looking." And then I got on a call with him, and I was like, and then they said yes, right? They bought. I was literally loading up the truck myself. I drove the truck to Superior and was like, I unloaded one. It was crazy,
No
bro.
way.
So like that, and then another contact that I met through school, Superior. What's the other chain? Gonzalez, Northgate,
Yeah.
Northgate.
Northgate.
Sold to them, bro. So I had to, think that's where the resources come in, the connections come in, and did all that. It was a definitely different, great experience. Loved working with my dad and my brother. But I always known that I like how you say, right? You want to do something you love, something you're passionate about. That is, it's love for it because it's been in the family. I've known it all my life, but I've never really wanted to always do that, especially right now, right? Where they're still able to run that, and I can do what I want. I was like, you know what? Let me, try different things. And I got offered a job to work at Herbalife again, but as a sports marketing specialist. So Herbalife sponsors like, the LA Galaxy, and then a bunch of other individual athletes, football, basketball, triathlons.
Yeah.
And what I currently do is I work with these athletes directly. Like I reach out to them, ask them for like social media posts and stuff, make sure they're following their contract and like whatever was in the contract like that they signed up for, that they're doing for us and we're doing for them. So
you're still doing that now?
Yeah, that's what I do now. That's my full-time
cool.
job.
Okay.
Aside from everything else that I do, that's my 9 to 5, my 9 to 5 job. Work there remotely, so it's cool.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I have my 9 to 5. I have my business, and then I also do like, I guess you could say, my personal business, right? Like I do content creation for other brands. So that's what my life consists of right now.
Damn, you are doing everything, man. I'm starting to dip my toes in now to try to get a little bit started in that world, just because it's what's needed, man. That's how you build your business. You need to build your personal brand, build your awareness, and let people know what you're about. Yeah. But okay, so you're doing the Herbalife, but then also like you started your company too, right? You could talk a little bit about that.
I kind of skipped over that, but I started my company in college with my brother, actually, my older brother. It was, I believe, my sophomore, junior year in college. We started Vagary with just leather bags, and we were doing like backpacks and duffel bags. They're being made in LA, and what we were doing, because it's pretty expensive to make them, we were just doing made to order stuff. So we were doing that. It was difficult because I didn't really know what I was doing. It's a high price tag, a luxury item. I was like, damn, I'm just making videos or posts and pictures, and I'm not really selling anything. I'm just trying this. I put a little pause on it, like trying to just finish up school and graduate, and then that's when I got the internships and stuff. And I was still doing it here and there, making like one sale every 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah.
But then 2020, right? That's when I was working with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, after we would finish our work days, like, all right, we're not really going nowhere. You guys stay home. I was like, dang, I've always loved shoes. I've always been a fanatic of them, right? And there was like the certain model that I really liked that was popular right now, kind of like the Common Projects, New Republic. And I was like, how can I make this shoe affordable and have like high quality real leather? I was researching, right? I got samples made in China, wasn't the best. And then I connected with this guy who he owned a boot company. And I was like, oh, dude, let me model for you or let me make some videos for you. He sent them to me and I did that. And I asked him like, hey, bro, I know this is kind of weird. I know you might get offended, but like, can you like kind of hook me up with your manufacturer or supplier? Like, I want to make my own. I'm not trying to be a competition, but I want to start.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know how it was, but by God, bro, his family owns the manufacturing spot in Colombia.
Whoa, okay.
So he makes shoes for other people already. He's like, oh, dude, that's not a problem at all. He's like, we can make shoes for you. He's like, I'm the sales rep for my family.
Oh God, he's like, you're like helping him out. Yeah, that's good,
dude. So it was like this shit fell into my lap, and I said, well, God is telling me I got to make some shoes now. So then we got going, right? Mocked up design. Got samples made, tweaked it a little bit, the fit, everything. 2020, November, Black Friday, released my first shoe. The first shoe is called the Hustler. Just kind of what my life is, what my dad is, who I am. So I have 5 colors of that model. And a lot of it is I've done well. When I started, I was just same thing, just doing social media posts. I dabbled into ads, like social media ads. Didn't really know what I was doing. Just
trying it out, hustling, seeing what works. Yeah.
It wasn't going so well, right? I was selling more than the bags, obviously, but it wasn't going well. And then I thought, okay, what can I do that's a little bit less costly and give me a little bit more return? And I found that there's these different types of like upscale markets. Think of like a swap meet, but nicer, right?
Uh-huh.
So people have their own brands, handmade stuff. All over LA, bro. All over LA, they have these markets that I didn't even know about. I just did a little bit of research, and that's what I was doing on the weekends. I would go. It's basically like a pop-up. You go, post up. I put all my shoes up. I have a little space for try-ons, and that's where I was meeting people, direct selling to them. So right there, then they're right there, and then they would buy. So I was like, oh man, like this is perfect. This is what I need. Like I need to make sales, and people need to know about my brand.
Yeah.
So what better way than to get it in their face, like actually in their face? Because it's like a barber, right? You don't trust everyone. You need to see it. You need to try it on because it's a shoe. Like you only know Nike, Adidas, and Converse. You need to try on. So it was hard for me to sell online like that because you need to build trust.
Exactly.
So every weekend I was going to these different markets and doing that, and that's kind of what's really helped me grow, retain a lot of my customers.
I had no idea, man. I had no idea of all these stories, man. I love your grind
Yeah.
and like
So
there's so many lessons that you can unpack from all the stuff that you're doing that I
yeah,
wish
bro.
people
Like
can take from it. Of like, especially the ones of like you're just doing it but not knowing what the result is. You know,
yeah,
a lot of people want to get into something and expect that okay, if I don't, make I don't know 50K from the shoe company in the first
yeah.
year, like I'm just gonna throw it away. But
No,
you
man.
know,
And like I'm not gonna say that I'm doing great. I'm struggling still. Like
oh
it's
yeah,
still, yeah, it's still a grind. Like I've made money, but it's everything I made, I've thrown it back in, right? And like so this year, I just released my second model. I released a boot, a Chelsea boot. Um, so that is what I threw all my money into that. I invested into my next model, and I got a good response. Not what I hoped for, but a good response. And same thing. I'm in Portland now. I looked for different markets. I just did one 2 weeks ago, and Oregon is obviously not LA. A little bit smaller, a little bit less competition. So I did well at that market. I was happy
oh
with the
nice.
result. Yeah. So same thing, right? Like I'm in a new state where people probably never heard of me, and right, you go out. You have to become your own salesman. I'm my billboard. I'm my own billboard. I have to talk to people and be like, this is who I am. I'm doing this for this reason, and like if you support me, I appreciate you. And you know that I'm the one that put all my blood, sweat, and tears into this. I'm not these big manufacturers. Like you're me. I'm the owner. I talking to you now, but tomorrow I'm gonna make a video and do social media and do all that stuff. So it's a grind,
I
bro.
gotta wear a lot of hats, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's rewarding. If it's something that you like, something that I like, I love to like you follow me. I love to make these fashion videos. It's in my world. Having a shoe or a footwear that fits in is amazing for me. And
Wow.
not everyone can say they have their own shoe.
Oh yeah.
You know,
No, the only ones you hear about is Lamelo Ball. I mean, that's the only.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like everyone can make their own T-shirt, right? Everyone can make their own hoodie, but to make a shoe is tough. And I have my own, and sometimes I take it for granted, right? I'm like, damn, like I'm not doing the best. I wish I was doing better. But then I realized, like, dude, you have your own shoe company. Like this is what you dreamed of.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot of the time, but like, wow, I'm just like blown away, man. I'm really impressed. You're really impressive, man. Like,
I appreciate it, bro. It's I like how I said, I'm grateful for what I have, but just never satisfied. Like
yeah,
I think one thing, I think that saying can be a little bit toxic at times, where you're like, okay, cool, I did that. Now what's next? But I feel like this past year, really trying to celebrate like my small wins,
yes.
and I
I
think
think
it's
that's so
just
important.
yeah, it's been helping me. It's because before, even now, there's sometimes where like I do something good and I'm like, cool. And then I'm like, okay, next, what, like, how can I make it better or whatever, which is great. But, sometimes you got to just celebrate
Yeah,
things.
but what's the point of like what if it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're gonna keep on getting it like okay now I'm making 1 million and it's like okay well what's next like no
Yeah,
like what
so
are you doing it for right yeah
exactly. Yeah. So I've been able to, and I think my girl, she's really helping with that. Like, she's like, dude, enjoy this real quick. Like, let's go out to celebrate. Let's go have a dinner. Like, the video can wait real quick. Like, you can do it later on. Like, you'll be all right. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. Like, let me enjoy this. Let me feel good about myself.
yeah. So what's the like what are your because I know you're always building towards something it sounds like right like what do you want to build up for the shoe brand or what is there something more that you would want to do is it a bigger brand that you're trying to create
So my shoe brand is that's what I want, right? That's what I want to be my thing. So my shoe brand, but it can. Vagary is a brand in itself. I've made clothes before. I would like to continue to like offer everything as far as like a complete outfits. That's my like what I would love to get to. The shoes I feel like is just my way right now. But I think for myself, knowing that like doing this content creation as well, it's actually like it's giving me a lot of hope that this is how I can live my life. Like I can literally live off of this. Like people make money like that. People are living really well. And Okay, I'm kind of going in a circle, but
No. Wait, can you go into that a little bit? Because I'm very curious about that. Like, how does
yeah.
that world work? How
So
do you
so
make money
let
off
me
of that?
start. Yeah, let me start like this. So I when I was trying to figure out like how to do more marketing, right, instead of spending so much money on ads, and I did the markets and stuff, I was like, dude, like influencers are influencers, right? Like they're the ones that help you sell. So I would send as like people that were okay with it. I would send them product. A lot of people asked for money, but some were cool. They were like, oh yeah, you're a young dude. Like I support you. Let me just try them out. So I was doing that, and I was like, damn, like I was like, I think I dress like these guys. I think I can do this too. Like I'm pretty cool. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I can take photos and stuff. I was like, you know what? Like I gotta be my own influencer. I have to be my own guy. And like if I'm paying all these people to or giving them stuff, like
Oh, so you would pay them to model? You're saying,
so
or
I couldn't pay them. I would just give them free shoes.
got it?
I
Yeah.
would be like, hey man, here's a pair of shoes. If you could just take some photos for me, or like a real quick like testimonial video, like a selfie video, I would just appreciate the world. Like it'd be the world to me. And a lot of these LA dudes were cool. They were cool with me. They like supported me, and they would have like 50, 60,000 followers, and they'd do it for free. There's one guy, like shout him out. His name is Blake Scott. He's like a huge dude in LA.
Yeah.
He has like more than 100,000 followers. He says that he charges people 9,000 for a post.
Wow.
He did it for free for me, dude. I was like, it was amazing.
And then
But
how did you see some like?
yeah, followers and stuff. There was this other guy. I got sales from it. Like it works. It works.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a reason that people do it. But then I was like, damn, this guy too. This guy was from Whittier. He's from Whittier, and now
It's always the local people, man,
yeah, this
helping
dude's
each
from
other out.
Whittier, bro. And at the time, he was living in this dope loft in downtown LA. And I was like, bro, he driving a G wagon, all dripped out. I was like, damn, like I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
How
the
do you
only
do
thing was
it?
that he started when he was in high school, and like he's a little bit older. He's older than us, so you know he had that time. But then I was like, all right, gotta be my own guy, gotta be my own influencer. So throughout that time, 2022, when I had all that time, I started making my own outfit videos and photos. So I've been like kind of documenting myself and creating all this content for about 2 years, and then I moved to Oregon. I met another like fashion influencer dude here, and he like shout out to him too. His name is September Mondays on Instagram, and he like put like really cool, man. He has like 100,000 followers, and I'm like a nobody. And he like we went out to lunch. He showed me all like he introduced me to all his boys, and like so
Wow.
that's how I made friends here. And then I was like, bro, like I would love to just learn like how you did it. Like how did you get your followers up so much, and how are you getting all these deals? Like he works with like Boohoo, PacSun and stuff. Send a monthly close and pay him. I was like, bro, how do you do it? We sat down and he spit so much game to me.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Like
Nice.
just a cool dude. And then he was like, bro, you can do it. He's like, and he just left Portland. He was like, I'm leaving, bro. He's like, you can be the next Portland guy. So, bro, give me hope, right? Like, super dope dude. Put me on game. So, in June, I moved here. So, in June, I was like, all right, I can do this. I don't know how, but I can do it. Started reaching out to all these brands, just shooting them DMs, emails. Was like, at the time, I was like, all right, I can just, like, do stuff for free. Just send me clothes. So I was making videos for them, and someone get back, they're like, oh yeah, free, like a free video. We use like, because if you think about it, like I'm in the corporate world too. To make a video or make some type of content, it costs like I would say like $1,000 for your video production company to do that.
Yeah.
Or department. So they're like, oh, we could give you a shirt and you'll make like
it's nothing.
you'll make 2 reels for us. Say less. So then I did that.
And so wait, are those reels? Do they want you posted on your account and
A mix.
Okay.
A mix. Yeah, they'll tell you. They'll tell you what they want, right? They're like, oh yeah, they just make the video and send it to us, and you'll be good. Or make the video and post it and send it to us, right? So then I started learning a little bit more on how it works. I reached out to some other influencer dudes I knew. I was like, bro, I want to start charging people. Like, how much should I charge and stuff? So I'm gonna put you on game real quick.
Yeah, put me. I need all the game. I love this stuff.
So okay, so me, I only have like 17. Give me a second. I only have shit. I only have like 1,700 followers. Okay, which is like kind of nothing, right? It's like everyone has like 1,000 and 2,000. And so the guy was like, okay, for videos that you just create and send to them, you should be charging like a minimum 150 bucks. Video that you post, it should be around 400. For you, he's like, for you, because you're small. Photos, like around 250. Posts, about the same. So I was like, okay, dope. So he put me on that. Once he gave me like those rates,
easy breakdown, yeah.
That's when I was like, all right. I reached out to companies and they would say,
let's start shooting the shots again.
Yeah. Huh? So they were like, all right, we'll send you some clothes. I was like, actually, I'm looking for a paid opportunity. Is there something that I can do for you? I don't have to post it if you don't want me to. I can just make it for you. Here's my rates. Some people were like, no, we can't do that. Right? You're too small. Blah blah blah. So I think what really helps me is I think my content is pretty dope. I think the way I make videos is pretty well.
It's got a distinct style.
Yeah, just that my follower count isn't there. So for them, they were like, no. And I got my first one within the month. My first paid. It was with the suit company. And dude, they gave me like 600 bucks because it was 400 for the post video, but then they wanted rights to it, like so that they can use for ads. So I asked the guy, like, dude, if they want ads, is that extra? He's like, yeah, charge another 150. I charged 200 because I said, fuck it. And so 600 bucks, I was juiced, bro. I was so happy. I was like, bro, they're paying me to do this. Like, I have no follow. I really have like a little bit of followers. Like, they're paying me. They're giving me a suit. I'm
like this is like you're creating like magic out of nothing, right? Just like.
And then I was like, dang, if I'm getting 600, these other dudes around me are making bands, bro, like 4,000 a post, 6,000 a post. And I'm like, dude, like this is life, like real life. You can do this. So from June to now, I just cranking it out, bro. I met with this photographer who put me on some more game. He gave me a website. This website is where brands go directly to put out like their jobs that they have. So, for example, I've done one. Okay, like Stacey Adams, you know, the shoe company.
Yeah.
So Stacey Adams goes on this website and they put on there, okay, we're looking for creators. We're offering 200 bucks. We'll send you a pair of shoes and we'll like put out a reel, and you need to make a reel. So they put that on there and you just apply for it. If they select you, then boom, you're good to go, right? They send you the stuff, you make the video, they pay you.
Oh, so that's what it is now. People are applying to get those jobs.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is like a platform that these brands trust. They rather do it through here to make it like really efficient and easy for them. So I didn't even know about that. I was just cold emailing and DMs.
But now there's an actual like a Indeed or something.
And there's a bunch of these platforms, bro. A bunch of these. But there's one that I've been using where I've been getting a lot of like, you know, jobs. It's basically jobs through there.
Yeah.
And a lot of projects. So, and right there, they look at your follower account, but you also like submit like content, like example content. So I think that's what's been helping me. They're like, oh, like this guy knows how to dress. He knows how to put outfits together. Let's just use him. So once I found that, I was like, and I started getting a lot of gigs from them. And last month, I basically made one of my Herbalife checks in that month just from video.
Whoa, dude, congrats. That is like a...
And so then I'm like, dude, I'm about to blow up. Like, I know I can do this. Like, I just need to get the followers up. But other than that, like, I'm hustling, bro. Like, I'm making these videos for the brands. And I honestly make my videos pretty quick. It takes me like at most an hour to do a video. So if you think about it, a company paid me 400 bucks in 1 hour.
Hey, man. Yeah, and at the same time, you're doing what you like, and it's also helping build your own personal brand for your shoe company too.
Yes.
So I think
like if you look at a lot of my videos, like my organic videos, you'll see that I use my shoes or my boots. like, I'll be like, for example, like I just say how to style a Chelsea boot, but it's obviously mine, right? I just tag my company and all that. So, and then like when these companies post me, it just gets more eyes on my page.
Right.
A big one that I've been doing is with Forever 21. So I've been on their, like, if you look on their Instagram, I've been on their Instagram a bunch of times.
Oh, wow.
I'm even on their website, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, dude. So it's moving, bro. So that, like how I said, just being my own influencer is just gonna help my own brand. It's gonna help my shoe brand and my personal brand make money in every way that I can. Like, so
yeah.
This is what I'm pushing towards.
Got it. Okay, so now, and have you been like? I'm sure you're probably so busy with doing all this stuff, but like, are you learning now like the sciences of building a Instagram and like building your social media presence?
Yeah.
Like, is there how do they do it? Like building up those followers. Is it?
Bro, it's
that's
just
a magic question, huh?
Dude, yeah, and I'm trying to figure it out too. But like, it's just a lot of really being consistent as far as like posting. Every day, I post every day. But people be posting 3-4 times a day. So that's like the key. Right now, TikTok is huge. You can blow up on one video. So, and making sure your Instagram is linked to your TikTok, right? Like people have followed me through TikTok, from TikTok to Instagram. So I had some videos kind of do well on TikTok. I've had like, a video goes 70,000 views, 80,000 views, which is cool. Got a lot of followers there, but it's just that grind. It's the same thing as a business. It's that grind that you think a video is gonna do well. I think it's like 200 views and you're sad, but you gotta keep pushing, bro. Like that's just what it is. And and then the first partnership I did, I thought it was dope, bro. I thought my video was fire. And I was like, okay, it's for the brand, so they're expecting something good. Dude, it only got like 400 views. I was so sad. I was like, dang, they're never gonna work with me again. Like, it was my first time. But then I'm like, you know what? And then I started realizing too, these companies, they just want the content. That's what they're really looking for. Especially for someone like me, since I'm a small creator, for me to post, for them it's cool, right? It's like, okay, whatever, he posted, like, we get a couple of more eyeballs, but we really just need that video or that.
It's also building their catalog, right? Like they need to have posts regardless. Is better than not having one, right?
Exactly. So for me, it's cool because it's not that much pressure. They just want the video. For these bigger creators, are like, all right, if we're paying you racks and you supposedly have 100,000 followers, we should be getting, you should get a lot of comments and likes and saves on this. But for me, it's more just the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a cool world, man. There's a lot of money in it because a lot of companies need it. But yeah, I'm hoping that this 2023 I'm really be taking off, bro. Because I did really well this past month, and excited to see what kind of comes out of it.
Dude, congrats to you, man. So many successes, and again, I think you're like this too. You're not very much results. You're in it for the long run, like you're learning all of these skills and you know that it's going to come with time, but I'm glad that you finally, at least you see some light with, a direct way that you can really, really make it. That's,
and I think that's what's been really cool or really good about this is like, like there's a lot of things you can do, like my business too, where you don't see it like that quick, or you don't see it's hard to make a profit. But in this space of content creation, I don't have any expenses. It's just, dude, I film on my phone and my tripod. Like, it's like a service. So it's cool that I'm like, okay, like this is good, right? Like I have no overhead. I have nothing. I literally film in a room. I'm cool. Like, yeah. So it's exciting, right? It's exciting to see that I can do that, right? Like, let's say all else fails, everything goes to shit, I can still do this.
You can make some videos.
Yeah, bro. I'll make videos for the rest of my life if I have to.
Well, that's good, man. Man, it's hard, dude. This thing flew by, bro. Like an hour 17, an hour 20, man.
Oh, snap. Yeah, it was nice chopping it up with you, dude.
Dude, right?
I learned a lot about you, man. I didn't need to know all that stuff.
Yeah, well, no, well, this is just the beginning of our friendship, man. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
bugging you and
Let's
about
do
not
it,
only
bro.
with your engagement, but your business stuff too, how to grow. But no, I'm really happy for you, man. Especially coming from where we are and doing the things you're doing. It's a huge accomplishment with your
Thank
engagement
you.
too. So
Thank you.
just keep on going, man. Last thing, if you were to give some like just words of advice for someone who hasn't really, let's say, found their career or like their interest of what they want to do with their life, or maybe they're going through some financial struggle, like what kind of advice would you give someone like that?
I think what you have to try to focus on is just keep pushing forward. Because once you stop and once you get in your head about like not being where you are or you're in tough times, once you let that hit you and get into your mindset, into your heart, you're done, man. I think you have to just, as hard as it may be, you have to try to stay positive for every day. Like if you're sad one day, feel it, right? Feel the sadness, but you have to make sure that next day is a good one. That's like something that I try to live by. If I'm sad or if I'm hurt or if I'm angry, I'm gonna feel it. I have to feel it that day, because if you don't feel it, you just shut it off. I have to feel it, but the next day I promise myself it has to be a good one. That's
Wow.
that's my
I
advice.
think that's golden advice, man. Yeah. People they stay in that mindset for years and years,
Yeah,
but that's good.
yeah, like
Well,
but thank you so much for having me, boss.
I'm
It was
glad, bro. This
fun.
is so sick. Way better than I expected, man. I learned so much about you, and man, I'm probably gonna have to do a part two soon. But
Let's
no, man,
go.
I'm glad, bro. Well, I'll end it now, and yeah, thanks again for coming on, bro. And again, wishing you all the success.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great day.